Hi, welcome to a new video. If you are new here, my name is Amandine. I've been living in Singapore for 3 years, and on this channel I like to share about anything that's happening in Singapore. If you have ever been to Singapore, you know how amazing it is with so much to do and see. From the iconic skyline and the local cuisine, there is something for everyone. But what makes Singapore so special is how it's put together. There are a lot of little things that just make sense and that you won't find anywhere else in the world. So in this video, I wanted to show you what I find so special about Singapore. First one is the reflexology path. It is said that the purpose of the reflexology path is to promote relaxation and well-being by applying pressure to certain pressure points on the feet, based on the belief that those pressure points are connected to body parts and it will help alleviate physical and mental conditions. Reflexology is also believed to improve circulation, relieve tension, and reduce stress. So in Singapore, what I like is if you're like stressed, you can just go and walk on those pebbles. I don't know how true it is, but just knowing that you have that here in Singapore is like just amazing. I find amazing also that there are so many outdoor exercise areas in Singapore. I think just in my neighborhood, I can like point like 10 of them. The same way is to promote a good health. During the day is actually not so used like maybe some uncle and aunties, but during the evening and at night you will be quite surprised by the number of people who are actually like going there. Maybe they're not using the equipment, but they will like just head there to do their own workouts. So it's quite nice to see. Another thing that I love about Singapore is that you can just eat on the go. Street food is an easy way to grab a quick bite in Singapore. You can easily find many stalls in malls, for example. One snack that I really like and that you can find in malls is the egglet. So it's like kind of a waffle and you can like just grab piece that looks like eggs. I think that's why it's called egglet, and you can find like chocolate and cheese. Try it, it's really good. But even generally, it's really easy to grab lunch and dinner in Singapore at hawker centers. I said it many times, but yes, hawker centers food is actually affordable. So you just need to spend maybe $5 on a meal and they will like just cook it and then you can just eat. Usually like you can have your meal within 30 minutes if you're on a rush, or you can like just wait and enjoy the time if you want. So the fact that we don't have to worry about cooking is just like mind-blowing. This is a given nowadays, but living in Singapore, it's nice to know that the tap water is actually drinkable. I rarely buy bottled water in Singapore because we have the chance of having a high quality tap water. Sometimes the water might turn bad, so you might just check like with your neighborhood authority to know whether your water is high quality or not, but most of the time it's pretty good. But even outside, you might do well to bring your water bottle because you can find many refill points outside in hawker centers, but also like tourist places and parks. So yeah, it's really amazing. Singapore is not making all the effort concerning like the plastic waste, but concerning bottled water, you can really avoid them all. But here, let's talk about the chopsticks. What changed so much from what I'm used to back in France is that now instead of using a fork and a knife, now I'm using chopsticks and a spoon most of the time. And I must say it's something that we should get used to in Europe because it's actually quite convenient to use chopsticks to eat. Even for cooking, it's quite nice. I would say I'm like not a pro still, like I cannot do fancy things with my chopsticks, but I really enjoy them anyway. We are at my closet now because living in Singapore, it has really removed one big uncertainty, is that I don't have to think about what I'm gonna wear because the weather is always more or less the same. Most of the time it's sunny, and when it's not sunny it's rainy. I have a few jackets for when it's raining or when it's a bit colder from the aircon most of the time, so this is what I will wear for the office, but otherwise I just have like some dress and it's like easy and I can just wear that all year round. As I mentioned the rain, it's important to say that Singapore adapted well to the terrible rain that can occur sometime, because they plan some infrastructure for people to walk under without being drenched. I would say that all major bus stops and walking ways are covered. So even if it's pouring outside, usually you will be able to go from one point to another point without being too wet. In my case, because we are living in a condo, it's more complicated because usually those covered paths are around HDBs, but if you can reach this point, you are usually safe. And there are many malls that are interconnected between them, but also with MRT station, so you can just go there and you don't need to go out at all. I wanted to mention the nice green parks that you have around Singapore, even if it's not the major one like Macritchie or Singapore Botanic Garden. This park is less than 1 minute away from our place. This is such a luxury, and it's thanks to the government that is putting an emphasis on keeping the ratio between green areas and residential areas. I think there is something like that every houses in Singapore have to be less than 5 minutes away from a green area. Some of those parks are even protected from the road, meaning that on neither of this side of the park there is a road. It's like maybe buildings around, so it's super calm and you can just like enjoy slow living in Singapore. Then if we mention going out is really easy. All I need is my phone and maybe my Apple Watch, but I know that if I need to pay for anything, everything is on there, because most of the time all the stores they accept at least PayLah. So in Singapore you have just so many payment services like Shopee Pay. Right now Shopback Pay is quite popular. I have some referral links, by the way. I sometimes put them in the description box. But yeah, you have like so many payment apps, so you can like just bring your phone around. I have my cards, my credit cards connected to that also. So yeah, I like rarely take my wallet. When I go to the bus, it's easy. I just tap, I scan the QR code when I'm at store, so very convenient. But if I'm really honest, I would say that sometimes, especially at hawker centers, there are some stores that are not accepting like they only take cash, and then if you don't have cash then you cannot go there. So it's kind of like unconscious choice of like, you know that you won't be able to go there. So unless it's food that you really enjoy, then you can think about bringing cash, but otherwise if you just plan on eating anything, you would just go for stores that accept PayLah. I'm just gonna finish the video here. I wanted to mention a last point is that in Singapore there are many holidays and celebration. So even if we don't have season in Singapore, we don't have 4 seasons, winter, autumn, spring and summer. Here in Singapore you have all the celebration that kind of allow you to keep track of time. You know when it's Hari Raya, you know when it's the Chinese New Year, you know what do we have later, Deepavali, you know when it's Christmas also. So some will say that Singapore is always the same, but I would say thanks to those festivals we are able to keep track of time, and it's making it also more enjoyable. Now those are my 10 things that make Singapore so special to me. If you have a reason why Singapore is so special to you, do let me know in the comment section. If you want to continue to discover Singapore with me, watch the next video and remember to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.